What up, figure freaks? GIJoe75 coming at you with another action figure review. Today we're doing the GIJoe Classified Series Cobra Mole Rat. Looks like he's number 94 in the series. There's your little QR code so you can find out all the Mole Rat specs and all his specialities. Around the back side here we got a nice little profile of the Mole Rat with his mask on. Up here it looks like that's on his chest. I don't know if that's a communication device or not. On the side we got a nice little piece of art. He looks like he's holding that canister. His head looks blown to pieces. And then on the front, of course, we got a beautiful action shot. Just kind of scope that out. So I been sitting on this figure for almost, I'd say, a year. And seems like there's a few figures that came out a year ago that Hasbro didn't fulfill and didn't provide enough figures, and this guy was one of them. But I noticed that he is back up on Hasbro Pulse, so I ordered one and I'm going to open this guy. There's a couple other ones that I'm looking for, but they're like crazy expensive right now. Let's see, the Range Viper is one of them, and then I think it's is it the Night Tracker? I can't remember, the guy with the dreadlocks or whatever, but I have one of each. But it's there, if you want to find another one, they were like 60-70 bucks, and I don't know if I can do that. So come on, Hasbro, reissue those guys, please. So yeah, I'm gonna open this guy up. We're gonna check him out. I guess another question here is mask or no mask, because I think they both look cool, especially if the pink glows like that, which I kind of doubt, but it looks pretty cool on the box. So I usually go with masks. If they come with a cool mask, they're gonna wear it, you know. So it looks like he's about 6'3". We're gonna see what the business is with this gun, and let's open this guy up. All right, so no plastic prism this time, and this time it's just a cardboard box. Kind of forgot about these, how they used to put these guys in here, and then they have their little foot locker with the little packing paper in there. But just popping this guy out here, so you got him inside the box. You know, something I really like about GIJoe is the Cobra stuff kind of sometimes bled into almost like the horror genre, and like these guys are pretty wicked, and they're like almost like a unstoppable undead army, you know, like who's gonna stop these guys, you know? And almost like the bats at first when they're in the cartoon, it was like nobody could stop them, and then Sergeant Slaughter got pissed and tore up like 10 of them. But yeah, this is pretty gruesome here. We'll get all his accessories out here in a second and check them out in full. Alrighty, we got the Mole Rat out and displayed here. Pretty nice figure. I got a few issues with the paint though. If you look, I haven't seen this in a while, but it's a little bit messy down there with the orange and the blue mixed up right at the hinge there. You can kind of see the blue bleeding. I don't know. It seems like that is something that should have been left behind like 5 years ago, but you know, it still happens here and there, especially with some dark and light colors. Not that big of a deal. Mole rats should be dirty, so maybe that was just meant to be. Maybe it was on purpose. I noticed these, like this area down here, this orange is I don't know. It's not made to look dirty, but it's just a little darker. I think it's darker than it appears on camera. So you got two head sculpts. I thought it was going to be a mask that slid over this head, but that's not the case. They're totally different color heads. It's almost like this is a mask as well, but I don't think that's what's going on. Anyways, you pop this one on, and then you got this backpack here, which has this big tube that leads out and you can plug it in right in the side of his head here. There, see how it pops out? And then you can pop it back in, I think. And then the same thing in the front here. This pops off and plugs into his chest and then plugs into the front of his mask. Just like so. And then you got his little range finder, whatever, scanner. And then his gun, which you kind of have to snap together. It kind of comes in two pieces here, so you can pop this out. If I can, come on. Ah! There we go. Those in there pretty tight. And so that's where the drill comes in, because I guess you can attach this as well and have a big old drill. You can have a good time with that. Almost like it the way it looks more with the drill. So we'll keep that on for a second. So yeah, pretty cool with this big old tube that leads into here, and then this one that attaches onto the, I guess, flak jacket or jacket, vest. And then of course you got this backpack here. Looks like it has a couple like rotors or a few rotors, and then this little compartment here, and then a little holder here. So I don't know if like pieces of your gun should be snapping in there. Yeah, it kind of bends it. There's this too. Oh, that works, I guess. It looks kind of strange, but we'll leave it on there for the time being. But yeah, both head sculpts are pretty cool, but I just gotta go helmet. This is gruesome though. Look at that. Look at that detail. Like it's just like his. It almost looks like some like Toxic Avenger type shit. Like the shit's just, he got chemical waste poured on his face. That's what you gotta do to be in Cobra, to be in this core. And it's just burbling out the top of his head. Wow. Pretty wicked. So I never heard of these guys before. They remind me a little bit of, well, at least this does. It reminds me a little bit of this 80s cartoon called Spiral Zone. If any of you guys remember that shit, lay down a comment. That show was the shit. And not really sure what this is. Is this a lantern? Is this just a canister with some yucky goo that's gonna turn you into a mole rat? What is it? Of course, this is movable. So yeah, I don't know. It kind of looks almost like a mass device type thing. It's like a canister. You hold it up here because if you hold the actual canister, you're gonna get hurt. So yeah, decent figure. I mean, the articulation is pretty tight. We do have boot cuts down here underneath this stuff. Same old, you know. We got the drop downs. He's kind of a thicker, more robust figure, I would say. His legs are thick as hell. He almost has like a containment suit on, so he's just a tad bit bigger than most. But yeah, nice use of accessories. Cool concept with the mask and all the tubes and stuff, and the gear looks pretty cool too. So I'm glad I opened this guy up. You know, paint wise, there's some problems, but it's not that noticeable. I like the dark blue. On the orange, it's just got a little messy down here. But otherwise, it looks pretty good. I'm gonna give this guy a 3.3 out of 5. So just a little bit better than 3, not quite 3.5. Let's bring in some other figures for some comparisons. I'm gonna wrap this guy up. We're going old school. We got a Cobra officer. Now who's in charge here, huh? Does the mole rat outrank the officer? I don't know. I like this officer though. Wicked looking figure. With all this stuff, the straps and the vest and cool stuff. Let's see, I'm gonna quick measure the mole rat. He seems to be standing straight up. And he is just above 6 1/4 inch, just above, slightly. Interesting. We got a viper. Again, I hope that we get, I think it was Shadow Tracker now that I think about it. Shadow Tracker and the Range Viper. Those two are not easy to find. I already have one of each, but before I open it, I always like to have a little backup plan, if you know what I'm saying. So waiting on that. Hopefully Hasbro Pulse brings those guys back up or does a reissue, maybe retro style, I don't know. Here's the Alley Viper. Bunch of Cobras here, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this review. I like the figure, it's super fun. I hope you're out there collecting, having a good time. Keep it real. Yo, Joe. All right. Later. Yo, just to kind of go over some articulation here, though. I mean, they're getting way better at this. Look at this. Even with this thick, like, all this gear on them. Look at that. Bent way over. Now, of course, all these tubes that are going into his helmet kind of hinders a lot of movement in the head. See, it kind of pops out. So, there's that. I don't know how they can remedy that kind of stuff, but yeah, it's a solid figure. It's thick, sturdy. He's not gonna fall over. I guess they got pins down here, but of course this figure is a year old. So I just wanted to do a quick gloss over the articulation. It is a nice figure. Just don't know much about the character. I like these little things that stick out, almost like he's gonna have to like get some tubes plugged into his arm so he can recharge. So I don't know if you guys know anything about these characters. I mean, they got to be like zombies, and they're just like lifeless army that they just point at the Joes and just say go chomp on their brains, and then they go at them. So, and they drill them.